Have you ever wondered if you might be manipulative without even realizing it? That's right, sometimes we unconsciously employ tactics that sway others to our will. It's a slippery slope, but fear not. In this video, we will explore 6 signs that may hint at unintentional manipulation. The first sign you might be manipulative without knowing it is guilt tripping. Guilt tripping is when you make someone feel guilty to get your way. It could be as subtle as saying, "I wish you spent more time with me," instead of expressing your need directly. It's a way of manipulating others by making them feel as if they've done something wrong, even when they haven't. So next time you find yourself pushing someone into feeling guilty, you might be unintentionally manipulating. The second sign is gaslighting. This subtle form of manipulation involves causing someone to doubt their own perceptions, memories, or judgment. For instance, someone might say you're remembering it wrong or you're too sensitive when confronted about hurtful behavior. It's like subtly shifting the goalposts, making the other person feel as if they're losing their grip on reality. If you find yourself questioning others' perception of reality, you may be gaslighting without realizing it. The third and fourth signs are playing the victim and passive aggression. Playing the victim is a classic maneuver in the manipulator's handbook. It's a way to deflect blame and make others feel guilty. For instance, if someone always seems to have a sob story or is constantly experiencing bad luck, they might be playing the victim to gain sympathy and control. Now, let's talk about passive aggression. This behavior is characterized by indirect resistance and negative attitudes. It's a way of expressing anger or dissatisfaction without directly confronting the issue. For instance, if someone regularly makes sarcastic comments or gives you the silent treatment, they're likely being passive-aggressive. These behaviors can be manipulative because they shift the power dynamic in a relationship. They allow the manipulator to control the narrative and the emotional climate. If you often find yourself playing the victim or being passive-aggressive, you might be manipulating others without knowing it. The fifth and sixth signs are using emotional blackmail and being overly controlling. Emotional blackmail, it's a term that might sound intense, but it's a manipulation tactic that's more common than you think. It's when someone uses your feelings against you to get what they want. For instance, they might say, "If you cared about me, you would do this for me." They're exploiting your emotions to serve their needs. Now let's move to the sixth sign, being overly controlling. This doesn't always mean dictating every aspect of someone's life. It can be as subtle as constantly giving unsolicited advice or making decisions for others without their input. This behavior can make others feel powerless and dependent, which is a classic manipulation tactic. It's important to remember that these behaviors might not always come from a place of malice. Sometimes, they're just unhealthy coping mechanisms. However, if you find yourself using emotional threats or trying to control others, you might be unintentionally manipulative. To sum up, the 6 signs of unintentional manipulation are guilt tripping, where you might make others feel guilty to get your way; gaslighting, a technique in which you cause others to question their own reality; playing the victim and passive aggression are 2 other signs, where you make yourself out to be the victim or express aggression indirectly. Sign 5 and 6 are using emotional blackmail and being overly controlling, where you use others' feelings against them or try to control their actions. If any of these signs resonate with you, don't panic. Remember, self-awareness is the first step in changing these behaviors. If you recognize any of these signs in your behavior, it's not too late to change and improve your relationships.